Welcome to the inaugural RBTV broadcast. Welcome to the Premier League on RBTV. And today we have a real good one, folks. It's Manchester United against Manchester City. Despite all the tech problems I've had this morning, we are finally ready to go. It is essentially that time, ladies and gentlemen. We are just only a couple of minutes away from Manchester United against Manchester City. But before we start the stream, and before we let you know what's going on, let's take a look at the starting lineups because that's what we are here for today. Here they are for you right now. Andre Onana starts in goal for Manchester United. Back three of Mazraoui, Maguire, and Euro. Dorgu, Casemiro, Ugarte, and Dallo in the central midfield. Bruno Fernandes is alongside Alejandro Garnacho, and Rasmus Højlund is in there as well. As we'll take a look how it lines up on your screen right now. Full graphics package today, guys. So that is what it looks like with Onana, with Euro and Maguire, Mazraoui. That is how the midfield looks together, and this team looks to be really, really good. They look to be really, really dangerous. They've struggled all year long, and they have pieces that can really help them push forward in a game like this. Watch out for the midfield. Alejandro Garnacho, who a lot of fans are questioning why he's starting today. He's out there on the left. Bruno Fernandes is a guy you always have to watch out for in this game, and he is today's player to watch. Guy who can create so many problems for opposition out there on the right-hand side, and that more attacking midfielder role. Plays more like a 5-4-1. We'll take a look at it one more time with those wing backs and Dorgu and Dallo playing in the more wider channels with the back three playing more centralized. Ugarte and Casemiro like to drop more to create another version of a back five. It could play in so many different ways, and that's what Ruben Amorim likes to do with that type of a tactic. And Manchester United have a lot on their plate today as they go up against Manchester City. Let's take a look at how they line up in this type of matchup as well. And their goalkeeper is Ederson, back four of O'Reilly, Vardial, Diaz, and Nunes in the 4-2-3-1. Kovacic and Gundogan in holding midfield. Omar Marmoush and Silva on the wings with Kevin De Bruyne at the 10. And Phil Foden is up front today. Of course, no Erling Haaland for the moment, as that's how they look on screen now. We know the news of Kevin De Bruyne will definitely bring it up as this game goes on, but this one's going to be intriguing. Of course, you have KDB in the middle. He is your player to watch. Of course, we'll put this on screen. Back to me on screen now, where De Bruyne announced this week that he will be leaving Manchester City at the end of the season. It's a shocking story, but a story that we knew would be inevitable one day. And that is the situation with that. Kevin De Bruyne, arguably the greatest midfielder in the history of Manchester City. And he'll, according to rumors right now, will have a statue built of him, according to Pep Guardiola. He's been there for what felt like forever, and he's a guy who's been so dangerous for so long with that team, and he's looking to make another big impact in a big Manchester derby today. We're just still counting down to kickoff here this afternoon. Well, morning or afternoon or evening, wherever you are. Thank you so much for tuning into the stream today. We have about 6 minutes to go till kickoff, and we'll have a variety of graphics to help you guys out, learn the lineups, learn who's on the pitch today. One other note, let's take a look also. As mentioned, your players to watch, it's going to be Kevin De Bruyne and Bruno Fernandes. If you've watched this matchup over the years, those have been two of the most impactful players the entire time. And those guys know how to get the job done in a more attacking midfield role. Of course, very recently they had the struggles from Bruno Fernandes. So they're looking, if you're Manchester United, you're looking for Fernandes to clean that up, get into that more attacking role, be more creative on the ball, and to just be able to do more. That's the big thing. Do more with the ball in order to create some more chances and get Manchester United a much needed point today. So right now I'm actually having to fix this story because if you're trying to if you're just tuning in now, we did have some technical problems prior to going live today. which I didn't expect to happen, and that's why right now not many people, or if really anyone, is tuning into this stream. But hopefully, you guys, as you're trickling in, eventually um, are able to just have some fun, be around, and just have an overall good day. I mean, that's what we're here to do. We're watching football together. That's living the life essentially at this rate. Um, yeah, let me just post this real quick, and while we're doing this, make sure to like and subscribe. Yeah, we have to put this up. Hopefully, some people start to join. Yeah, technical problems, the epitome of disaster. Yeah, this is the first of, hopefully in the future there'll be more streams like this. I honestly don't know how we would do. I mean, I don't know what games we will to commentate, because I know the idea would be doing this a lot over the summer, and that is kind of what I was hoping for. Is a lot over the summer, a lot of commentating of big time games over the summer, and from the Gold Cup to Club World Cup, you'll see streams on here of that. We'll have more people, of course, being um, maybe some other analysts. It won't be just me doing these streams, hopefully in the end. But right now, what we do know is that we still have a good bit of time. So I'm going to step aside for about a minute just to fix something, and then I'll be right back with kickoff. You're watching the Premier League on RBTV. All right, I'm back. Um, yes, we are still a couple minutes out. Sorry about that. From the Premier League, still waiting for our game to kick off. Is still, I believe, it's just about a couple minutes out from the start of today's a fixture that's been on so many people's calendars for what's felt like an eternity. But that is your matchup right down below. Man United, Man City, couple minutes out. Um, yeah, hopefully you guys like and subscribe would be greatly appreciated. Soccer is just about 2 minutes out, and real quick, I'll get this back up. Um, so yeah, I do all this stuff for the streams. By the way, I know that was a question I've gotten in the past, in comments on I've gotten after the YouTube videos. Um, am I the only one that does any of this stuff? Correct. That is me, myself, and I for now. But hopefully, one day. Well, I just gotta check something real quick. Sorry, guys. All right, sorry about that. I just had to check something real quick on the stream, and we are good to go. So we still got about 90 seconds or so, hopefully, before we kick off today. Man United against Man City in the one of the game of all games, a rivalry renewed, a game that has so much on the line. Mainly for Man City. United are essentially are gonna be lower mid-table, which going into the season, it's not what you were really expecting from this team. Manchester United had a lot of I believe had a lot of expectations going into the season. I had them finishing top 5 in the Prem, but they just have not lived up to expectations at all, and they're paying the price for it, being a club that fired its manager. Remember, they fired Ten Hag a couple months ago now. They've been terrible in attack. They've not done a lot of things right. And it's been a real challenge for Ruben Amorim's Manchester United team, as it looks like we are ready to go in about a couple of seconds, hopefully. I don't know why it says 3-0 on the scoreboard. I'm going to fix that. So I'm just fixing some more technical problems ever. It's all kicking off today here on RBTV. It's the inaugural one of these, as we are now set to be ready to go. There's Kevin De Bruyne, the man we mentioned, who will be leaving the club at the end of the season. Manchester United will kick us off in a very, very crowded Old Trafford. A theater of dreams. Kick, and we are underway from the theater of dreams. Hit forward by Andre Onana. One back for a moment by Mateo Kovacic. And Manchester United win the ball back with Harry Maguire. Here's Dorgu for Man United. All the way back to Maguire once more. Left side Euro. Manchester United in possession early on, moving from left to right. And now they have an immediate attacking chance. It's a 2-on-2 for Manchester United. And a man goes down in the box. It's a foul. And a yellow card. And Manchester United, just 45 seconds in, Alejandro Garnacho drawing an early chance, a reckless challenge by Ruben Diaz. Taking a look at this one more time. There's a 2-on-2 with Garnacho and Bruno Fernandes. But Garnacho gets taken down from behind. Yellow card coming out as well for Ruben Diaz. So inside of a minute, we have a yellow card, as I believe we might have a check for a possible penalty. But regardless, Manchester United, inside of 90 seconds, will have a goal-scoring opportunity, albeit now it's post 90 seconds. But United, early on in this match, have been able to create an early opportunity. As you're seeing again, while we wait, the Manchester United lineup back on the screen. Rocking the 3-4-2-1, as you would call it. It'll be Bruno Fernandes to take the free kick. It'll be him and him alone. Fernandes from just outside the 18-yard box. It's Fernandes, blocked by the wall. And we'll go out of play for a corner. Let's take a look at this one more time. Actually hit off the foot of, I believe that's Omar Marmoush. The transfer from Eintracht Frankfurt in the Bundesliga. So 3rd minute, and Manchester United, they take the corner short. Garnacho. Fernandes whips it in, nearest post, headed away by Vardiol. The 196th Manchester derby. It's all kicking off early on as there's an errant pass towards Garnacho that goes right over his head and out for a Manchester City throw-in, and they can take a deep breath after Pep Guardiola's side concede a free kick inside of over a minute. De Bruyne looking for Marmoush, cleared away by Maguire, and out for a throw. Manchester City sitting 5th in the Premier League. The reigning champions, of course, struggling all season long with injuries and underperformance. Of course, no Erling Haaland, with having an ankle injury out for 5 to 7 weeks. This Manchester City team, though, is in the semifinals of the FA Cup, but were knocked out in the Champions League very early on. High pressure now coming from Manchester United, but escaping it out. And now United sink off a little bit as Vardy in possession. Here's İlkay Gundogan. Now it's with Kovacic. Foden dropping extremely deep. So it looked like Foden has swapped with Marmoush. All the way back to the Ruben Diaz by the midfield line. United moving left to right in the red kits. Manchester City in the sky blues moving from right to left. As this one is out of play, De Bruyne hit it off of what looks like to be Diogo Dalot. And out for a throw. 5 minutes have come and gone already. Manchester United with the only scoring opportunity early on. Here's Nunes as his errant pass is off of the foot of Phil Foden and out of play on the far side for a throw. Still very early on in this matchup. A lot can change in a couple of moments, especially with the way these two can play. Throw in taken by Dorgu and just hit up the field by Lenny Yoro, trying to find Rasmus Højlund. Played away for a moment by Diaz. He hits it forward once again. One back initially by Dorgu. Hit forward again by Man City towards Marmoush. Now it's De Bruyne into the attacking third. De Bruyne trying that pass a little bit wide towards O'Reilly. Gundogan. Gundogan playing some short passes with Kovacic. Now he swings it over to Ruben Diaz. That's all the way on the far side now as Man City try to create their first real goal-scoring threat of the match. Just past the 6-minute mark. Here's a scrap with O'Reilly and the man on the right side, Dalot. And it's out of play right in front of the technical areas, and a throw-in coming for Manchester City again. Nice challenge there by Dalot, trying to play it off of O'Reilly. But City won the throw and are back in possession with Diaz, Foden, Kovacic. Into the wide channels again, but Man City not really being able to progress forward, but they try to put a ball over the top, but it's too far for Omar Marmoush, and it's collected by Onana. So the first bit of work for Andre Onana in the 24 in the purple goalkeeper kit today for Manchester United. And he hits it upfield just across the midfield line, trying to find Højlund, but it's intercepted by Diaz. And he has it once again for Manchester City. 0-0, about 7.5 minutes gone. It's just a ball over the top, looking for Marmoush, tracked well by Mazraoui, the Bayern transfer, but he turns it over, trying to find one of his midfield teammates. Here's Foden finding De Bruyne, but it looked like De Bruyne, and correct, De Bruyne was offsides right inside of the 18-yard box. Yeah, it's a small error there by one of the Manchester United midfielders, and actually good work by Harry Maguire right towards the semicircle on the top of the 18 for just barely stepping up and drawing De Bruyne to be offsides. Manchester City showing a very high press, and Mazraoui struggles to get it away, but he plays it off of Omar Marmoush and out for a goal kick. Pep Guardiola and his side have lost 9 games this season. Guardiola has never had a team with double-digit losses as a manager. Trying to hold on to that statistic for now. And try not to, of course, do it at the home of your rival. But Manchester United unbeaten in the last 3 games between these two, as there's an errant pass by Onana going over the head of everybody. And out of play on the near side, throw in Manchester City. Taken by O'Reilly, trying to play it back towards Kovacic, but it's out for a throw. Slow start for City after, really, it's been a slow start to this game after the early chance by United. O'Reilly, for a moment, got dispossessed, but Manchester City find a way to hold on to the wide areas with Foden. Foden cutting inside. Foden left foot strike near post. Cut towards the center, rather. He went near post. First chance of the game for Man City. We'll take a look at this one again. Not sure why I said cuts outside. I starts on the outside. He cut in, tried to go to your post, and didn't hit anything but the outside of the net. Now for a goal kick. Foden, 7 goals, 2 assists in 24 matches this year. As we're about a quarter of the way through this opening half, as here's an attacking possession now for Manchester United with Dorgu. Plays it back to Garnacho, far side. Back to Lenny Yoro. To Maguire, right at the midfield line. Yoro. Yeah. Maguire tried to go far sideline towards Garnacho as Manchester City were able to get an interception. Ball still bouncing around in the air, but eventually collected by Yoro. But he gets dispossessed by Kevin De Bruyne. All balls pops towards the near side and collected by Dallo. To Casemiro. He goes for the switch towards Garnacho, but another errant switch attempt by United as Manchester City have a player down. And it's the 47 of Phil Foden grabbing the left ankle, and he's going to need some treatment. Holland being out with an ankle injury, and now possibly Phil Foden. Let's take a look at the last play. A little bit of a possible reckless challenge by Casemiro after Ugarte was right on his tail as well. If you're just joining us, welcome. If you're just joining me, welcome to the stream. Make sure to like and subscribe. We're currently waiting for play to restart as United. I'm just making a text. As it looks like Manchester City might be readying a sub. It looks like that's Savinho, along with Jeremy Doku, also getting up. No sign of Jack Grealish getting up and moving yet. So we could get our first substitution of the match as Foden walks off to the far side a little gingerly. So that could be the first scare of the game for Manchester City as their only player to have a shot at all. Went down with an ankle injury and is back on his feet again, but we'll see if he returns. Throw in taken by City, one by Maguire for United. Ball bouncing around and cleared by City, but it goes to Andre Onana at the top of the 18-yard box. Harry Maguire after the rollout by Onana. City have dominated possession, but have done absolutely nothing with it so far. Each team with one shot apiece. And the one real scoring threat was the free kick opportunity for United inside 90 seconds. Maguire goes for the aerial switch towards Diogo Dallo near side. Good bit of play there by Manchester United as here's Rasmus Højlund trying to get into the 18-yard box on the near side of the 18, but Ball gets taken away by Ruben Diaz and just hit forward by Ederson, the Brazilian goalkeeper. Throwing Manchester United again. All the way back now to Andre Onana. Here's Nomar Mazraoui. Mazraoui over to Dallo. Casemiro plays it back to Maguire. As they try to go long to Dorgu, and it goes out of play. Throw in for Manchester City. Throwing goes long and back towards Diaz. They put it over to O'Reilly. His ball goes over the top looking for Omar Marmoush. It's Marmoush, and his shot is blocked by Maguire. So first clear-cut chance for City after the Foden injury. It's just a ball over the top by O'Reilly. Good work there defensively by Harry Maguire. Just being able to track back in that true central defender role. And here comes the first set-piece chance for Manchester City. United struggle defensively on corners. Hopefully trying to clean that up today. Ball whipped in by De Bruyne, near post. Ball bouncing around. Tried to be flicked back in. Manchester City arguing for a handball. But it only goes out to the top of the 18 with Marmoush, but the ball's then eventually cleared away by Rasmus Højlund. We'll see if VAR comes out and checks that one. Didn't look like to me in that moment that the arm was in an unnatural position. So it looks like we'll just play on for now. The position there, I don't know. It was a pretty close one to me. But we'll see what VAR says in a moment. Here's Silva going up against Dorgu. Far side. Heading towards the corner flag is Silva. Still can't get away from Dorgu, and it's out of play. Played off of Bernardo Silva now for a throw. So early on, they really haven't been able to, well, Man City rather, have not been able to really do a lot in attack. Remember, they just had that chance with Marmoush. But here's could be an opportunity as pass gets taken away by Foden, but it's intercepted and cleared away briefly by Mazraoui. Aerial duel won by City. Here comes on the near side. It is now O'Reilly. Here's Mateo Kovacic. Silva plays it short, back. And now over on the right side, far wing, it's Nunez. De Bruyne. Wide to Nunez. Manchester City, a team that's dominated possession in any game they've played this year. Here's De Bruyne with a turnaround shot. But it was too weak. He went with the weak left foot, and it trickled all the way to the goalkeeper, Onana. De Bruyne with that quick first step, but just could not get the right power on it. Didn't strike it the best. United are eventually able to clear. Trying to go far side. Brilliant touch there by Alejandro Garnacho. Now he's sprinting forward. Numbers coming for Manchester United. To the wing with Dorgu. And he's going to get dispossessed and out for a goal kick. Nice defense there by Nunez. So a lot of early back and forth, but really the best chance continues to be that Bruno Fernandes free kick from early on. Here's a through ball chance for Man City, but it's intercepted by Dallo. And now here comes Manchester United again, but they play all the way back to the feet of Maguire. United dominated the first 5 minutes, but it's been a lot of Manchester City as of late. Here's Fernandez, all the way back to Mazraoui, centrally to Maguire. Now it's Euro, still in his own 18. United struggling to get this up the pitch. That's Euro once again, and he hits it over the top. Gorgeous ball. Now it's to the left side with Dorgu. Now it's Garnacho, left wing. Garnacho, multiple step overs. Cutting it inside. Goes for the switch to Dallo. Into the 18-yard box he goes. Centering cross. Chance for Manchester United. It's Garnacho in the middle, but he doesn't get really any strike of it at all. He went for a diving header, but his attempt was too early. It hit him in the knee. And there's really the first chance for Manchester United in about 19 minutes or so. Tried to go with a more diving header, but the ball really hit him in the ankle. It was such an early move by Garnacho. Gorgeous ball in by Dallo as United got it back, but kick it out of bounds. Manchester City are able to clear. United were kept in their own half for what felt like so long, and there's the first chance in a long time. As here's another good ball over the top, but it's too far for Højlund, collected by Ederson. 0-0 through 20 minutes, but really some opportunities are starting to be created. While they are few and far between, they're still good chances mainly here in the early stages. Silva, wide to Nunes. Back to Ruben Diaz. Nothing really happening with Manchester City. They've dominated possession, but it's been Manchester United while they've had, I believe, 2 clear chances. The chances for them have been better early on. If you're just joining, welcome. Hopefully you guys can smash the like button, and the subscribe button would be very much appreciated on the inaugural RBTV watch along. Kovacic for Man City in the attacking third. Ball eventually swung out to Silva. Tried to go for a 1-2 with Nunes, but it was covered well by the sinking Alejandro Garnacho. United seemed to be sinking the wings to try and cover all of the channels, and it's going to work out for them here as there's an interception, but a ton of miscommunication by Casemiro and Bruno Fernandes. Lenny Yoro was direction that was a challenge there. As here comes City again with a through ball towards Foden, but cleared out of bounds by Maguire. Couldn't see if that was, looked like it was Dorgu who got challenged right in center midfield to start the City possession. Gundogan tackled for a moment by Casemiro. They try to go over the top with Foden. Headed away for a moment by Casemiro, but it goes to the feet of Nunez. Kovacic. De Bruyne. He tries to go with a scooping ball over the top, but it's won back by Maguire in Manchester United. Fernandes trying to clear it out. He's unable to for a moment, but he's able to eventually find Dorgu left side. Euro gets it back from Dorgu. He goes with a switch to Dallo. Goes centrally to Bruno Fernandes, finding Garnacho near side wing. Garnacho cuts into the 18-yard box. It's a centering pass. Another chance for Manchester United, but a bad touch by Dorgu. Cleared away by Man City, and City are going to win a foul against, with Maguire conceding the foul. But another good chance on the counter from United. Pass was a little too bit behind Dorgu, who took a poor first touch. And it was actually cleared that time by Vardiol. So still a lot that can happen here in the early stages of this match, but it's really been Manchester United, while they've struggled in bits, they've looked really good on the counter, and it's really worked for them here in the early stages. Here's a through ball looking for O'Reilly. O'Reilly gets challenged by Dallow, and United win it back right by their own near side corner flag. And United are going to win a foul. Foden, or rather, that was Kovacic arguing for a handball, but it's Casemiro who wins the foul. Free kick, Manchester United. So, like I said earlier, this won't be the last of these. Not sure how the rest of the season will go, but with the schedule being with my, for those who know, who've watched this channel before, I do commentate for ESPN Plus and for my school's radio station. So, not sure when the next of these will be, but hopefully throughout May and June and early July, you will see a bunch of these. Here's Euro in his own third, back to Maguire just outside of the 18. Tries to go with an aerial switch towards Dallow, and he plays it back to Mazraoui. Mazraoui tries to go over the top towards Højlund, intercepted by Vardiol, the Croatian center back. Moves it over to his Portuguese center back partner in Diaz. It's been a very slow first half for Man City, and not a lot of player movement at times, and it's tough to do that against a very compact Manchester United defense. Here's Vardiol over to O'Reilly, and he gets dispossessed. Ball goes off of his left foot and out of play, throw in Manchester United. United right now are on pace for their worst record and points total in team history. And after all the moves they've made, it didn't seem like it would go this way for them. But right now it's working. What's been working is their attack. As here's Garnacho in the attacking third, finding Bruno Fernandes. He's trying to find a through ball to Dorgu. It's Dorgu with a left foot strike, but goes over the bar. Let's take a look at this last play. Højlund holding it up, finding Fernandes. He sends a long ball to Garnacho. Not a bad ball towards Dorgu, but just sliced that one. Didn't get the cleanest strike. So Man City go for the goal kick. Sorry about that, guys. We are underway. Ball back in play. Here's Diaz. Line it over to Nunes. Back to Diaz. Wide to Nunes. Back to Gundogan. The ball gets taken away from him. Numbers on the break for Manchester United. They go to the right side. Fernandes. He goes over the top, looking, but striking it wide. Another opportunity for United. It was Manuel Ugarte that time. It's out for a goal kick. And look at the numbers. Great challenge there by, it looked like that was Højlund. Fernandes tried to go over the top, but Ugarte went for a diving finish, but was unable to get a clean strike. So the expectation right now is that Gold Cup games will definitely be here. Won't be all of them since I do have a summer job, but a decent portion of them will hopefully be on RBTV right here. So, which is for me very exciting. I know I'll be doing my best to commentate at least one USMNT match in the group stage. That is the idea. The idea also right now is Manchester United were trying to move forward. Fernandez from the near side goes long switch far side to Dorgu, who collects, but the flag will go off because he was offside, says the assistant referee. Wasn't a bad idea there from Bruno, but pass was just a little bit, could have been a little bit earlier, says Dorgu. Still 0-0. Coming up still is the halftime report. We'll go over all the games, including Liverpool, who went out and lost to a really solid Fulham team. A team got relegated today. We had a completely boring game with Chelsea. We'll talk about the Premier League and the race for the Champions League spots, including so far teams in second, third, and fourth all dropping points this weekend. We'll go over all of that at halftime. In attacking third now, Foden tackled there for a minute by Casemiro. Man City retained possession. They go to the wing with De Bruyne, trying to find a cutting teammate, and it's out of play for a corner. That cutting teammate was Ilkay Gundogan. But it is out of play for a corner. A lot of good games throughout the weekend. You had, of course, Villa taking on Nottingham Forest yesterday, and a game where Aston Villa cut down the Forest in the end. Talk about all that at halftime. Here's a long cross into the box, cleared off the line. No one really went for it. Onana looked like he was screened. Let's take a look at this one. It was a curler. Actually goes off the head of Casemiro. It was very tough to call it at the angle that we had. But nonetheless, it will be a throw-in for Man City right at the near the corner flag. United win the ball back and just hit it upfield to where it is now collected by Diaz. Still 0-0 in this 196th Manchester derby. United, the team that have had the better chances, but Manchester City have been the team with more possession early on. Robbie Basil on commentary for you. So happy you could be here with me today. Manchester United faced Lyon in the first leg of the Europa League quarterfinals on Thursday. Other teams in European action, you have Arsenal. They play Real Madrid this week. Wish we could. I was planning on commentating that game, but no, I have class. So no luck there. Here comes City again up the field, but ball was taken away briefly by Casemiro, but City win it back. Here's Gundogan back to Kovacic. Trying to find Diaz and does. Far side now with Nunes as he escapes the pressure of Garnacho. Here is Gundogan over to Silva. Wide now near side O'Reilly. Back to Ilkay Gundogan. Still with Gundogan. Tries to go over the top towards Marmoush, but that pass wasn't even close as it's too strong and into the hands of Onana as he rolls it out to Euro. Maguire, right outside the 18, passes it back to Mazraoui. Over to Casemiro. His pass was deflected but out of play. As we taking a look at some Manchester United players just stretching out. See, not the start if you're hoping for if you're Man City, if you're United. I don't know how you feel because you could argue they could be 1-2-0 up, but if not for just misreads, as speaking of misreads, that pass long ball intercepted by O'Reilly. Now moving forward is Kovacic into the attacking third. Ball in the air. Trying to be won back by Garnacho, but it's taken away by Nunez, and he goes backwards again. This game is brought to you by Footy Fridays, the soccer podcast on this YouTube channel, hosted by me. You can check out Footy Fridays covering the Premier League, Champions League, and all of international football from World Cup qualifiers to AFCON, Asian Cup. If you've been here before, you know of the tomfoolery that happens on that show, including my rant about Cameroon and Eswatini. We'll talk about that later. Here's an aerial ball over the top looking for De Bruyne, but it's collected in the 6-yard box by Andre Onana. Yeah, Cameroon drew Eswatini in World Cup qualifying, which was really unfortunate for Cameroon. Here's United in possession. But that ball I thought was going to be taken away by Nunez and eventually is. Advantage, says the referee after a little bit of a reckless challenge. It won't be a carded reckless challenge, but was a reckless challenge nonetheless. Here's Diaz over to Silva, back to Diaz. Phil Foden, wide to O'Reilly. Goes to the wing with De Bruyne. De Bruyne going for a tassel with Nomar Mazraoui, and it's out of play. Throw in Manchester City. Not a lot happening in this first half. And it was kind of expected to be that way, if that makes sense. O'Reilly, pass deflected by Dallo initially, and it was won back by Casemiro. Taken away now by Nunez, trying to find Foden, but that pass was too far. It's a pass into the final third. It's been a struggle for City all day long. Here's Dorgu trying to find Garnacho, and he wins the foul. That time it was conceded by Nunez. Not a lot happening over the past 10 minutes or so. Here's Dorgu. Here's a ball that's not even close over the top. Diogo Dallas saying, "What was that?" And I think a lot of people at the stadium or watching at home, or if you're here with me, you're questioning what was that ball. If you're wondering why I'm yawning, the F1 race was last night. The Japanese Grand Prix, which Max Verstappen won. We'll talk about that on the Robbie Basil show on Tuesday or Monday. I actually don't even know when that video is coming out yet, but there will be one this week. Stay tuned to all that information using the Robbie Basil RBTV Instagram. Almost says the Robbie Basil show. It's actually not just the Robbie Basil show anymore. Here's a ball over the top, initially won back by Euro, and he's eventually able to clear it only as far as Ruben Diaz. About 6 minutes to go in the first half. No goals to speak of so far. Manchester City or United trying to change that. Kovacic. Gundogan. He's going to let one fly. It's Gundogan far post, but it's wide. That was a low strike trying to go far post. First chance in a bit by anybody. Would have been wide anyway if Onana got a hand to it or not. But nonetheless, it's a goal kick. It's been a real struggle for City to break through this United defense early on. As here's a takeaway by Alejandro Garnacho in there. It's in the attacking third. Garnacho still with it. Goes far side now to Dorgu. He goes a switch to Dallo inside the 18. It's Dallo. Fernandez. Casemiro shot right at the keeper. Clinical save by Ederson. The switch went to Dallo. Was knocked down by Dallo. Played back to Fernandez, who then just leaves it on for Casemiro. But another opportunity squandered there by the Man City defense. United showing a little bit more pressure now, but they're able to escape as they go with a long switch to O'Reilly. Here's Gundogan. Ilkay Gundogan plays it back to Foden. Cross to Nunes. Back to Bernardo Silva. Manchester City, if you look at the possession numbers, it's 61-35. They have dominated in every statistical category other than shots and shots on target. And chances created technically, as Foden got challenged by, looked like Ugarte. And Man City were trying to move forward, but a sliding challenge there by Fernandez. And now United are trying to go the other way. They don't really have numbers. So Garnacho just plays it back. And United slow it down once again. Ugarte now has it. Played back to Yoro. That's with Casemiro. And United are going to win a free kick off the ball. Late challenge by Bernardo Silva on Bruno Fernandes as the Portuguese go at each other. A very common clash over the last couple of years between those two national team teammates. So we just have a couple minutes to go before stoppage time. We'll see how much time is added on. I got to imagine it's not going to be much, but it could be a lot if Manchester United convert on this set piece from just inside of their own of the Man City half. Ball over the top, looking for Maguire. Initially headed by Dallo, goes wide now near side Garnacho. Played back to Ugarte. He swings it in towards the top of the 18, knocked on by Casemiro, looking for Maguire, but it was too far into the hands of Ederson. And now Man City try to go on the counter. De Bruyne carries it over midfield. De Bruyne with no numbers tries to go within outside the boot cross, but it was taken away and cleared eventually by Manchester United. Only to midfield. One back by Gundogan. Correction, one back by O'Reilly, played on by Gundogan. He has it once again. Ilkay Gundogan leaves it off for Kovacic. Here is Mateo Kovacic. High arcing ball towards O'Reilly, cleared away by Mazraoui for United. Garnacho trying to play lofted ball over the top. It was blocked. Manchester United playing it through with Ugarte to Bruno Fernandes, and he'll win a free kick. This is Bernardo Silva conceding the foul again. One yellow card in this match, and it was with Ruben Diaz inside of 2 minutes. As we take a look at that last challenge, just a little bit careless by Bernardo Silva. So we will see soon what the stoppage time numbers will be. And I'll let you know on screen as well. Ball bouncing around, and Manchester City will win a free kick here on the near side. Challenge there by Nomar Mazraoui, I believe. No, it was actually Manuel Ugarte and Mazraoui each conceding separate fouls, one on Kovacic and one on Omar Marmoush. Ruben Amorim's crew have not played the worst first half ever. Not by a long shot. As let's see the stoppage time numbers, if any. There'll be 2 added minutes to the end of this first half. So 2 added minutes of stoppage time as the ball goes all the way back to Ederson. And there will likely be not a lot of action during stoppage time here in this first half as Ederson gets pressured, but swings it far side to Nunez, plays it back to Diaz. Back to Ederson. Swung over to Josko Vardiol. And City are starting to bring the ball up a little bit more up the field, but not really at all. All the way back to Silva. Swung over to Diaz. They go ball over the top near side looking for Nico O'Reilly. And out of play. Good work there to shield the ball out of play by Diogo Dalot. That will probably count down the final seconds of this opening half. So Dallow will take the throw-in, just throws it down the line. One back by O'Reilly, flicked on by Gundogan. Ball in the air and out of play. It's a City throw near side, and they take it quickly. Will they be able to create a final chance here in the first half? They're going to go for it. Here's Foden, right wing. Foden takes a big touch, but it will all come to naught, as that will be the end of the first half in the Manchester Derby, in the inaugural one here, in the inaugural game here on RBTV. It's halftime here this afternoon. Score remains at 0-0. I'll be back on screen in about a minute or two to go over first half stats, what other games have gone on today, and just overall analysis of this first half. I'll be back in about 2 minutes. Stay here, guys. Welcome back. I'm back again. Welcome everyone back to this broadcast here on RBTV. Hope everyone is enjoying their day. Is Manchester United nil, Manchester City nil. Let's take a look at your first half stats. The big numbers right now, there really aren't any, as Manchester City and Manchester United have really not done anything at all. Stats have been pretty level throughout, but it's Manchester United that have had the better chances early on in this match. As we take a look at the Premier League table right now as well. We'll keep the stats though on the screen. Actually, no, rather let's take a look at some first half highlights. It wasn't a lot early on, but like I said in the open, the tactic for Manchester United turned into a 5-4-1, and it's really sunk. It's really compact, and that's the one thing we've noticed early on. But in attack, it's turning into a 3-4-2-1, meaning where the wing backs push farther up the field, and it's caused a lot of chances. A perfect one when Garnacho was cutting on the down the right side and tried to look for Dorgo in the middle, but that chance really went all for naught. As here's another opportunity here, Dallo right wing goes for that ball over the top. I'm still confused on how Garnacho did not score there. It is a very good opportunity. That's probably, I believe, the best opportunity of the first half, and not a lot, as mentioned, has happened. So we'll take a look at the first half stats again. Shots even at 4 apiece. Manchester City have dominated possession, but you've seen they have more accurate passes, but that's really the only other category other than corners and fouls that they lead in. It's been a very even game so far, and it's been Manchester United, the home side, that have, while they've had less possession, they've looked better in multiple different areas. And that's what's led them to having to score B level, which I'm not sure if you were going into this game that you would say, that's what the stat is. But if we look at overall passes, it's 327 to Man City, 198 to United. But looking at it overall, it remains 0-0. Let's take a look also real quick at other scores from around the Premier League today before we take a look at the table again. It was a very big day for Fulham, as you can see in the game in the middle, as Fulham went on to defeat Liverpool by a score of 3-2. Three first half goals by Sessegnon, Iwobi, and Rodrigo Muniz. After McAllister got one back, scored the opener of the match. Luis Diaz grabbed the late one, but it was not enough as Fulham in the game in the middle, if you can see right down here, defeat the Premier League leaders. But it didn't really help anyone as Chelsea, they went out and played Brentford in not a very exciting game really at all. Both teams had chances throughout, but really nothing to come out of it as the game at the Brentford Community Stadium ends 0-0. Not a lot to say, but what we can say is that Tottenham has won again. They've gone out and beat Southampton 3-1. Brendan Johnson, with a brace for himself, gets the first two for Tottenham. Fernandez got one back for Southampton, but a Matisse Tell penalty, 96th minute, sends Tottenham up 3-1, and that will actually do it for Southampton as they have clinched relegation today, which is pretty shocking. But the big story, of course, Fulham. They snapped Liverpool's 26-match unbeaten run in the Prem after a 3-2 win at Craven Cottage. Big win for Fulham. I mean, you look at the Premier League table overall. I mean, first of all, Southampton got relegated already. Southampton become the earliest team to be relegated from the Premier League at Spurs today, and Southampton's season is all but over with 7 matches to go. So let's take a quick look at the Premier League standings. Liverpool remain on top of the Premier League, 11 points clear. Then it's Nottingham Forest on 57 points. They're 5 points behind Arsenal. Chelsea, who dropped points today, they got Ipswich next. They are on 53. Then it's Manchester City who are on 52 points, currently drawing our match right here on RBTV. Is they are currently facing Manchester United. Following this, they at Crystal Palace next Saturday in the early game there. Aston Villa, who picked up a very crucial win this week, they went out and beat a very good Nottingham Forest team. They get Southampton, who, as mentioned, have already been relegated. Then it's Newcastle the seventh. They get Leicester next. Fulham jumped to eighth, only just a couple points out on the European places. They've been great this season. And it's Brighton in ninth. Bournemouth, who've really been sliding. They have not won a game in what's felt like forever. And they get Fulham next. They're out in 10th. Then it's Palace in 11th. They've won 4 of 5 and they've unbeaten in their last 5. Their only draw being against Southampton. Sure. They would be 10th if that match. They actually would still be 11th anyway. Brentford dropped to 12th. They've only won 1 of their last 5. They get Arsenal next. Manchester United, of course, drawing this game. They're up in 13th. Following this game against Man City, they play Lyon in the Europa League and then Newcastle away next weekend. Everton continue to struggle. They've drawn 4 of their last 5 matches. They get Nottingham Forest next. West Ham plays Liverpool. They're in 16th position. Wolverhampton Wanderers, following their big win against Ipswich, have likely relegated the Premier League newcomers. And while Wolves have a very winnable game against Tottenham next, Ipswich face off against Chelsea. Leicester are 19th. They are playing Newcastle, I believe, in the middle of the week. Oh no, they play tomorrow. My apologies. They play Leicester tomorrow. Newcastle do, and Southampton, as you know, already relegated, only on 10 points throughout the season so far. But in our match, it has been all of nothing in front of goal. No goals to speak about so far. As I'm going to take a break. That's my voice. Just so my voice can rest a little bit. But when we return, the Premier League is back. Second half action is next when I'm come back. Stay with me here on RBTV. We are back as the second half is second half is ready to go. We're underway again here between Manchester City and Manchester United. United, that is the game that we have on display for you today. As we just got back underway with the second half, as Garnacho is going to win a free kick on the left side. We're going to yellow card inside of 20 seconds. Mancino against Bernardo Silva for accumulation of challenges. Let's see if this works. Okay, so it does work. So we just got back underway. So back underway again, as here's Casemiro following all my technical problems again. Because what else is new? So from the looks of it, it looked like there was no changes coming into this second half. There's a ball on the right side wide areas with Dallo, and here comes Manchester United with an early chance to start the second half. A centering pass was attempted, but it was blocked, or rather deflected into the hands of Ederson. As Bruno Fernandes trying to get to the byline, who I thought that ball might have gone out of play. Regardless, it's a restart now for Man City. Here they come through midfield with Ilkay Gundogan. O'Reilly. Good turn there. Oh, chance right in front of goal. What a challenge from behind by Nomar Mazraoui. And it's going to be off of Phil Foden for a goal kick. Mazraoui, I thought, might have conceded a penalty. But no, it's going to be a goal kick for Manchester United. I think, did Mazraoui get to this? Let's see. It did. He tried to do like a drag back, really. And it hit off of the foot or ankle of Foden. So correct call there by the referee. As this goal kick is cleared. Trying to collect it for a moment was Højlund. Højlund got contact to the, I believe, to the head, and they're going to stop play for this. Referee John Brooks did not see that last scrap between Højlund and Diaz as a foul. Well, they had to stop play due to the possible head injury anyway. Still looking for the first goal in games on RBTV history. Hopefully we get that today. Here is Nunez. Wide to Nunez again. Looking for a through ball to Bruyne. Kevin De Bruyne. Centering cross, but it went right across the face of goal and out for a goal kick. One thing that is also in the media today is Alexander Ovechkin trying to break the record for number of goals in an NHL career. We'll see if he gets it while this stream is going on, which would be really cool. And I believe, if I'm not mistaken, he's going up against my New York Islanders, which would be absolute madness. Yes, he's facing the Islanders. They just started. We'll see if history is made, but we'll stay here, of course, for this. For our game is here's De Bruyne. Manchester City already showing way more energy than what they did in the first 45 minutes. Wide far side O'Reilly. Lofted ball in, headed away Mazraoui. All the way back out to O'Reilly. Vardiol's pass intercepted by Fernandez. 50 minutes have come and gone. 0-0 your score here, as here's a pass intended for Garnacho, taken away by Foden, cleared off of Dorgu, out throw in Manchester City. City decided to throw it backwards towards Diaz, over now to Vardiol. O'Reilly. Or to Vardiol. Swung over to Diaz. Diaz, with Manchester City moving from left to right, United right to left. Here's Diaz deep in his own third. Over to Vardiol in the center of defense. De Bruyne. To the left wing now, it is O'Reilly trailing back, the ball's now heading back towards Manchester City's 18-yard box, but bringing it up now was Gundogan, but his pass is intercepted in the attacking third. But a good scrap, and City win it right back, but another errant pass, this time by O'Reilly, heading towards the corner flag now. Fernandez, centering past Casemiro, leaves it off for Ugarte, wide now to Dorgu. Dorgu lofted cross, looking for Casemiro, which hits for Manchester United. Rather, it's a Manchester City foul. Højlund went into the back of Ruben Diaz. Almost said Manchester City again, but we'll see. Yeah, they're going to call a foul against Højlund. Say it was a little nudge in the back there, possibly a little bit of a softer call there by John Brooks, but he's been right on it nearly with every call today. Here comes Manchester City the other way. Foden, who's dropped to play more in central attacking midfield. To the wing now, De Bruyne. De Bruyne cutting inside, left foot chance, De Bruyne. Doesn't get a clean hit on it again. Kind of struck it closer to the ankle. And it was just a ground ball shot that rolls into the hands of Andre Onana. Onana clears just across midfield with Højlund, and he's going to draw the foul against Diaz, who's a little bit of a reckless challenge there by Diaz. Remember, he is on a yellow, if I'm not mistaken. We take a look at the FootMob stats, just how we calculate a lot of what goes on the screen, on your screen. Yeah, Diaz and Silva for Man City, the only two players on a card in this match. Interested to see if United bring in anyone. Maybe Joshua Zirkzee, but here they are, top of the box. Ugarte shot deflected and then cleared. Wide again. Cross into the box, diving clearance by Ederson. Ball in there was in by Dallo, intended for Højlund. Garnacho, left side of the 18, deflect across in the middle, but into the hands of Ederson. It was blocked, and multiple Manchester United players were trying to be right at that spot, but Ederson clears. Now here comes City the other way. Numbers on the break. But keeping possession there was Marmoush, despite getting a nice shove in the back. Here is Marmoush. Now slowing it down is Kovacic. Game's starting to pick up a little bit now as time has gone on. As there's a foul conceded and a late challenge at the end, but it was Ugarte who conceded the foul, and he's having a little bit of a talking to Ruben Diaz. Bernardo Silva gives Ugarte a shove as well. He's saying, "What the hell are you doing?" And now it's all kicking up here after the late tackle by Diaz, who, remember, is on a yellow card, and I don't think he even knows that at this rate. but Ugarte will get a talking to after conceding the foul on Silla. Yeah, I think Diaz might need another talking to there because that's a very reckless challenge from a guy like Diaz. Very weird sequence there. I don't even know how to describe it. It was just some of these situations, while they already struggle to call for a commentator at times, it makes you question what you're really seeing on screen. Ball in by De Bruyne towards the top of the 18. It's O'Reilly, but his shot was blocked and cleared by Dallo. Left wing shot by Marmouche. Tried to go near post with it, but it goes into the hands of Andre Onana. And good. Marmouche tried to keep the possession alive. I thought he was going for a cross there for a moment, but we'll try to go really, really with the near post shot and didn't really work out for him. Here's Alejandro Garnacho. Lays it back to Lenny Yoro. Will we have a goal in this game? It kind of feels like one could be inevitable with how many chances both of these teams have had, but the conversion rate's just not there. So here's an interception in the center of midfield by Josko Vardiol, trying to find De Bruyne. Poor touch by him, and De Bruyne is actually going to concede a foul as Dorgu, who intercepted that ball from De Bruyne, wins a foul. As it looks like Man City are preparing a sub. It's Jeremy Doku, and he will come in to replace Phil Foden. So Foden's day is done. So substitution coming off the field is the 47 of Phil Foden. He's replaced by the 11 of Jeremy Doku. And also coming off the field is Harry Maguire. And he is replaced by the 2 of Victor Lindelof. So one change for each team. So City bring on Doku. United bring on Lindelof as here comes Manchester United down the right-hand side again. Dallo drops it off. Cross towards the back post towards Dorgu. It's headed away. Nice work there by Nunez. And it's out for a corner. Nice ball in there by Bruno Fernandes. Dorgu, was he onside? I don't know. But it was headed away there smartly out of play for a corner by Nunez. Good job tracking back by him as well. So it's the first corner for Manchester United in a significant amount of time. It'll be taken by Bruno Fernandes from the near side. Fernandes goes towards the back post, headed away by Vardiol, and eventually now partially cleared by Marmouche, but he wins a throw-in on the far side. As we approach the hour mark, not a lot happening as Ruben Amorim seems to be a little bit frustrated. I'm not sure what about. Maybe I don't think it's something with the officiating there, but we'll see in the future. Is this ball flicked up by Kovacic? Ball bouncing around, still not collected by anyone. But it's now with United heading towards the corner flag. Long cross in by Garnacho, headed away briefly by Nunez to Bernardo Silva, and Nunez tries to clear. Nunez goes deep clearance, won back initially by Mazraoui from Manchester United. But now it's just inside of Manchester United's own half. with Nomar Mazraoui, the Moroccan right central defender in that back three for United. One change has been made by each team. It was Doku replacing Phil Foden. We'll talk about those changes in a moment as Manchester City forced an interception, but a terrible touch by Omar Marmoush. But Manchester City win it back for a moment, but again taken away by Nomar Mazraoui. Here's Dallo. Wide to Garnacho on that far side. Garnacho trying to cut it inside, but it was deflected and then taken away by Bernardo Silva. Here's Doku on the far side, getting his first touch. Gvardiol heading towards the midfield line. Of course, City going from left to right, United right to left. Current Premier League standings, City stay in 5th, 1 point off of a Champions League spot in 4th. Nottingham Forest in 3rd, Arsenal at 2nd, and of course Liverpool in 1st, but City have to track back defensively as that ball is taken away by Garnacho. Into the attacking 3rd centrally is Bruno Fernandes. To the left side of the 18 with Dogu. His centering cross may have hit an arm, but it was cleared away by Man City for now. They might have to check that. That could be a penalty. We'll see what happens in a moment. Lindelof over to Mazraoui, now to Dallo. Centrally, Casemiro goes lofted ball over the top. One for a moment by Vardiol. Now brought back down by Manchester United's Dallo. His pass taken away by Gundogan. Now it's Jeremy Doku, and he draws the foul. Now, I'm not sure if we'll get a check for a handball. We'll take a look on the last play. It didn't even hit the hand. See this angle of it. It didn't even hit the hand of Diaz. United were claiming for a handball, but it didn't even hit the hand. Shocking development there from this angle that we have. It looked like it hit the hand during the live feed. The play is back underway nonetheless, but Manchester City right wing Silva in the attacking 3rd, about 15 paces out of the 18-yard box. Back now to De Bruyne. All the way back to Vardiol, but that's still inside of the Manchester United half. United playing very sunk and compact, just giving City a lot of problems here in the second half and throughout this contest, rather. As Manchester City trying to bring the ball more centrally, but it's a foul and a free kick conceded by Lindelof. Drawing the foul there was the striker Marmoush. And it'll be a free kick going to Manchester City. 63 minutes played. So right now we're just waiting for the referee to count out the wall and the free kick to be taken. It's De Bruyne, and it looks like Marmoush over it. If you think about distance, wise to goal, it's about, I'd say, 25 to 30 yards away. So for someone like Kevin De Bruyne, this could lead to a goal. 4 in the wall, standing, 1 lying down beneath it in case of a low finish. With 2 Man City players just 2 paces in front. Free kick is taken. Big time shot, but a big time save by Andre Onana. Marmoush took it, struck it really well right over the Manchester United wall, but a diving save to his left by Andre Onana keeps this game 0-0. City bring it back in, but poor touch there by Vardiol at the midfield line. Forces play to reset. Now far side wing Doku. Tries to cut it back inside, passes it back Vardiol. Now he is with Silva. Bernardo Silva in those Man City in those sky blue kits. By the way, if you ever want to know what color kit your team is in, if you're playing in one of these games, the color is evident on the score bug above you, above my head. Sitting in the sky blue, and they just went for a long switch to the far side. Doku, guarded by Dallo. Doku's still with it, passes it off. But a nice job defensively there. It was Gundogan who had it, but it was taken away by Dallo. Now passed back to Lenny Yoro, deep in his own half. Yoro carrying the ball right towards the midfield circle. Hoyland, ball over the top, trying to go near side a wing with Garnacho, but it's out of play. Throw in Manchester City. Will we see a goal? That is the question right now. From the looks of it, I'm not sure if we will, but one thing I know that I'm going to get roasted for in the comments was the Instagram story for today's game. As here's a scrap for the ball right towards the midfield line between Nomar Mazraoui and Jeremy Doku, and it's going to be a foul against the Manchester United right central defender right at the midfield line on the far side is where the foul is conceded. Free kick, Man City. Swear, if someone comments English is not his first language, I'm going to flip out. Because I was struggling to type it, right? Because the first time we tried to start this stream, it didn't work. Others notes from around the world of sports: Josh Rock has won in darts after checking in with 2 big 170s today. Comment if you want to see darts or tennis on this channel. Here's a foul and a yellow card. So I'll shut up about the darts, as we're going to have a yellow card against Diogo Dallo. So Dallo will pick up a yellow card, third of the match overall, first against United. See who's on this free kick. It looks like it's De Bruyne. Multiple numbers are in the box. Whipped in by KDB. Backstick cross. Ball's deflected, and we'll see who it's off of. It is going to be a corner. Casemiro, I believe, along with other multiple Manchester United players, went up for that aerial duel. But nonetheless, it's headed out of play in a corner for Manchester City. Only their third of the match. 68 minutes played, 0-0 to score. Nothing really happening in front of goal throughout this match. It'll be KDB to take it. De Bruyne whips it in right towards the center of goal. Headed out for a moment. A strike and a save. A second chance. O'Reilly. And another cross in, and it's cleared away. And we're going to have an offside against Manchester City. That strike there from the top of the box was by Omar Marmoush, I think. But it was right at the face of Andre Onana, who makes a big-time save. Second chance was offside. And now United can take a breath and go out and try and clear. Marmoush, 6 goals and 12 appearances since coming on a £78 million transfer. As we're going to get a sub in a moment, it's going to be Joshua Zirkzee coming on in a minute. As this ball's played it out of bounds. Dallo and O'Reilly going for that duel. It's actually going to be a foul against O'Reilly. For a moment there, initially, it didn't look like O'Reilly touched him, but he barely clipped the ankle, and the youngster and fullback is going to concede the fouls. Here comes this, I believe, the sub or not. They're going to keep the sub off for now. It'll be Bruno Fernandes to take it. Fernandes, low ball, screaming ball, cleared away by Gundogan, all the way back to Bruno Fernandes, right by the midfield line. Fernandes carries it up right wing. Nice looking ball, right hand side. Down the wing. Initial cross was in, cleared away for a moment. Here's Manuel Ugarte. Ugarte with a strike, but it goes just wide. Brilliant cross in, initially played out by that. Looked like that was Vardiol, but a half volley by Manuel Ugarte just goes wide of the near post. How has there not been a goal in this match? Is the question. So Hoyland is off, replaced by Xerxes. And it is Mason Mount who replaces Manuel Ugarte, the man who just took that strike. City have it in possession, but they're going to win a handball against Bruno Fernandes. So right now, near the midfield line, it's with Mateo Kovacic over to Bernardo Silva. Now into the City attacking third, looking for Kevin De Bruyne. Intercepted by Dorgu, and he plays it off of, rather, it's Bernardo Silva for a throw. So here was the other change. So United have made 3 changes, and now we're going to have 2 getting ready for City. It looked like it was, well, you know who it is in a second, is here comes United into their attacking third, into the City half. Here comes Garnacho, heading towards the byline in the box. Garnacho gets taken down, no whistle. Nice coverage there by the man on the wing. That was Nunez going against Alejandro Garnacho, but play continues on as another good work there by the Manchester City defense. They've really been able to clean it up in the back end of this game. First half, plenty of chances. If you look at these statistics in the second half, Manchester City over 0.4 XG in the second half. Manchester United have 0.13, which is significantly down from their numbers in the first half. If you look at the shot counter, it's 9-7 total. And have not been a lot of shots in this game. Only thing that there's been a lot of is our passes as Nunez turns it over on the near side, out of play, throwing Manchester United as you'll get our changes. First one is going to be the 19 of Gundogan being replaced by Jack Grealish. And the other change is going to be Lewis, number 82. We'll see who he replaces O'Reilly. So we'll get you all of those changes in just a second. Here was the first one for you now. It was, I'm trying to put it on screen. Gundogan off for Jack Grealish, and it is the 82 of Lewis replacing the 75 of O'Reilly. Here's a long ball over the top left-hand side, looking for Garnacho, intercepted by Nunez. Nunez heading towards his own byline, heading towards a corner. physical play down the right wing. All blocked, but seemingly off the hand. But the referee says play on, and that ball's just going to be hit out of play right next to the corner flag. Good pressure there by Joshua Xerxes to cause problems as City win it back, and they're going to win a free kick and a yellow card. We'll see who it is on. It's the 4th yellow card of the match. It'll be against the number 7, the some call him MM7 of Mason Mount. So 2nd yellow card against Manchester United overall. City also have 2. One of them was on Ruben Diaz, and the other against Bernardo Silva. 75 minutes played. Nothing has happened. Yellow cards against Manchester United have gone on against the most recent substitute, one of the more recent substitutes in Mount, along with Diogo Dalot. Here's Doku going against the aforementioned Dalot, far side. Doku, the Belgian, trying to cut it inside. He's trying to then find a through ball towards De Bruyne, but it's then collected by Onana. 0-0, 76 minutes played. Robbie Basil on commentary for you today. Granted, it's my first soccer game like this in over a year now. So the rust is there. It's my first game also on YouTube in a month as well. As this one was going towards the midfield line, but is played out of bounds by City throwing Manchester United. Here's Joshua Xerxes finding Casemiro. They go switch to Dorgu. Over to Alejandro Garnacho. Garnacho left wing trying to cut it inside. Dorgu on the wing. Looking for Joshua Xerxes. Diving save by Ederson. Follow-up chance. Mount's blocked. United still have it. Fernandez goes wide. Looking for Dalot. Dalot's cross hits the head of Lewis and is out of play for a corner. What a save by the Brazilian netminder. Dorgu, brilliant ball. Xerxes, one-time finish, left foot. Bruno Fernandes. Correction, I think that was Mount with the follow-up. Yeah, it was Mount with the follow-up. It hits the back of O'Reilly, of Lewis, and then hit the head of Lewis on the next follow-up. Cross goes in right towards the penalty spot, headed away Diaz. Volley effort there by Nomar Mazraoui. Will head towards the left corner flag, out of play, goal kick Manchester City. Don't know really what that attempt was. What I can say it was a valiant effort nonetheless. Let's take another look at this incredible save by Ederson. Follow-up chance went right to the feet of Mount. Goes for the full volley, but hit the back of Lewis. Manchester City going the other way. Do they have a goal in them? Doku, left wing. Doku, still with it. Doku, looking for De Bruyne. His pass taken away. Good tracking back there by Mason Mount. And here comes Manchester United the other way. It's a 1v2. Alejandro Garnacho waits for teammates to come with him. Garnacho cuts inside. Garnacho takes the shot near post. It deflects off a Man City defender and is out for a corner. 11 minutes to go plus stoppage time. And another good opportunity there for Manchester United. Yeah, Garnacho didn't really have any options to work with. He just goes for the ambitious shot near side. And now, United have an opportunity on another set piece to try and grab a goal with 10 minutes to go. Whipped in by Bruno Fernandes. Oh, Fernandes is going to take it short. Plays a 1-2 with Garnacho. Fernandes still with it. Looking right towards the penalty spot. Was looking for a Euro. Player gets taken down in the box. It was Kovacic taking down Casemiro. Referee says no. Haven't seen the signal if it's a corner or a goal kick. Let's take a look at this angle. Oh, that's a close one. Oh, and there's a second effort with a boot towards the head area of Casemiro. So there's a lot to look at here. If this does go to VAR, I'm shocked if it doesn't. The fans all saw it. Casemiro struggling to get up. Mateo Kovacic was the one who did the challenge, and it doesn't look like this will go to VAR at all. So good work there by the Croatian holding midfielder, as he helps, one, deny a scoring opportunity for United, but two, continues to help keep this game at 0-0. Here's Peter Schmeichel, world famous goalkeeper, taking a look at that play on one of the monitors in the media area. As we are now back underway, Lewis has it left wing for City, but it gets taken away by Mason Mount. And now it's back to Lindelof in the Manchester United half. Here's Euro to Dorgu right at the midfield line near side. Dorgu tackled initially by Silva. He keeps it. Now Garnacho left wing. Garnacho over to Dorgu. Dorgu takes a hit from behind. Play continues. No whistle. Good challenge there by Nunez. And now Man City have it again. Long ball over the top. Looking for Doku. Heading towards the Manchester United penalty area. But Mazraoui wins the foot race and plays it back to Onana, who just hits it forward towards Jack Grealish. Grealish with numbers. Trying to go left wing to De Bruyne. Sliding challenge by Dalot, who wins it back for United. And then Bruno Fernandes plays it off of Jeremy Doku out of play. Throw in Manchester United. Red Devils throw in with 8 minutes to go, plus stoppage time to go. And if I'm not mistaken, because of the substitution situation, there is one window left for each team. And each team can do two changes I believe, two changes in the window. And that is correct. So, interesting spot for both Ruben Amorim and Pep Guardiola, as this one's out of play right in front of Pep Guardiola, who initially disagree with the call by John Brooks, the center referee, but realized that it was off of his star striker Marmouche. As I get the ball back in play, Bruno Fernandes gets the ball taken away by Bernardo Silva. Here's a sliding challenge by Fernandes trying to keep the ball in play after it was taken away from him. And it's going to be a throw-in right in front of the Manchester City bench. Rather, the Manchester United bench. 7 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Nunez to take the throw. Looking for options. Doesn't go down the line. Looks for Marmouche. Marmouche gets taken down by Euro. Is it going to be a yellow or a red? This could be trouble for Lenny Euro. It's only a yellow for stopping a promising attack. A good old yellow card for stopping a promising attack. So there's the 5th yellow card of the match, as we're back underway again with Lewis. Over to Ruben Diaz. All the way back now. Or rather, Manchester United coming the other way with Xerxes, finding Alejandro Garnacho, but it's taken away by Nunez again. And the ball goes all the way back to Ederson. Now Lewis left wing, trying to find Doku, but it goes all the way out of play on the far sideline. And it will be a throw-in. For those who are just joining the chat, welcome. Absolutely nothing has happened in this game in terms of goals. Robbie Basil on commentary for you. So happy you can be with us today. Make sure to like and subscribe if you want to. I can't control you. Manchester United have the ball just inside of the 18-yard box. Dorgu looking for a centering cross, but cleared away by Diaz. But Manchester United do retain possession with Lindelof. Now to Nomar Mazraoui. Far side Mount. Mount cuts it inside, but plays it back to Lindelof. Swung over to Lenny Yoro. Now it's Patrick Dorgu in the 13 in red. 5 minutes to go plus stoppage time. Does anyone have a goal in this? Is the question. Mazraoui, centering pass, taken away by Jack Grealish, but not before a foul is called as Lewis in the 82 in sky blue, who has taken an absolute beating since coming on, including 2 blocked shots, including one to the face, and wins a foul after getting taken down in the ankle area by a Manchester United player, and it's a free kick for City as they move it up left wing. Here's Josko Gvardiol, the Croatian defender. Over to Lewis, left side, just across midfield. Jack Grealish. Grealish carrying up the field by himself, gets taken down from behind. No foul, says the referee. Casemiro was the one who made the challenge. Bodies flying everywhere, but Manchester United come up with the ball in the end. They go over the top, looking for Garnacho, but it's taken away by Bernardo Silva, who dropped the central defense for a moment, and City can slow it down once again. De Bruyne, over the midfield line, over to Grealish. Grealish gets taken down. Referee says no foul. Play continues. Fernandez, over to Mount. Wide to Dalot. Dalot jukes by one, passes it back to Mazraoui. 3.5 minutes to go, plus stoppage time. Does anyone have a goal in this? Is the real question. Now it's wide with Dalot down the line. Centering cross, Joshua Zirkzee. It's Zirkzee! His shot blocked by Diaz and out of play for a throw. How about the work there by Ruben Diaz with the block? And it's out of play for a throw-in. Far sideline, right in line to the top of the 18-yard box. Numbers moving forward now. They take it short. Mazraoui back to Dalot. Does Dalot try to go for a cross? No, goes back to Mazraoui. Back to Fernandez. Long cross, looking for Casemiro, but it's headed over the goal by the Croatian center back, Gvardiol, who looks absolutely winded. But he keeps Manchester City's scoreline, the game scoreline, at 0-0. And it's another Manchester United corner, their 5th of the match. 88th minute. Does anyone have a goal? Fernandez to take. Fernandez, near post cross. Looked like it could be headed by Lindelof. Cleared away for a moment. Volley chance by Dorgu, but it's sliced wide. Tried to go near post, but sliced it out of play. And it'll be a goal kick with about 90 seconds plus stoppage time to go. Played forward by Lewis to Jeremy Doku. Doku. Now to De Bruyne at the left side of the circle, of the midfield circle. Now he gets it back, right and about in the line of where he just was. He'll carry it over midfield, finds Lewis. The question right now, and I think the thing on everyone's mind, is how much stoppage time are we going to have? And as your commentator, I don't even know. What we do know is that the ball's on the near sideline, but now moves centrally to Gvardiol in the Manchester United half. 89 minutes have played. Nothing on the score sheet. Diaz. Still Ruben Diaz. Goes to the wide channels. Now cuts it. A lot of passing for Manchester City. Player gets taken down. No foul, says the referee. Big time challenge, though, there by Omar Marmoush, who gets a big applause from Pep Guardiola. And we have a player down, and this looks like a major injury if the referee's stopping play now. It's Dorgu. Let's take a look at the last play. who took a crunching challenge. It didn't look like that on the initial screen. On the initial look of the play, it was Nunes who went diving into the challenge on Dogu. So now the question will be, we have original stoppage time. The question is, how much will we have now? It's initially 4, but there's a very good chance we could get more. It's a minimum of 4 added minutes to the end of this match. A game that has been back and forth, chances galore, but no goals to speak of. Appreciate the person who hit the subscribe button today. Up to 31 subs. Shout out to everyone there. The inaugural broadcast. This won't be the last of these, I'll tell you that. I'm having way too much fun doing this. We're back in play. Doku far side wing. Doku cuts it inside, looks for Grealish. Too far for him. Pass taken away, Xerxes. United are on the break. Numbers on the break for Manchester United. Through ball looking for Xerxes. He has numbers. He is Mount in the box with Garnacho at the top of the box. He looks for Garnacho with an aerial cross headed away by Silva. United win it back with Euro. He gets it taken away by Omar Marmoush. Marmoush with it near sideline, and he's going to get the ball taken away by Bruno Fernandes. So United still have it with Casemiro. Over a minute and a half finished in this stoppage time here in the second half. Kept in on the switch by Dallo. Swung over to Mazraoui. Here's Lindelof to Casemiro. Lenny Yoro now carries it forward about 30 meters out from the goal. Here's Garnacho trying to get to the box. Garnacho taken down for a moment. Play continues. Ball goes out of play right towards the near side corner flag and out of play off of Mateus Nunes. Dorgu is going to hit it off of Silva, but no, the referee says it was off of Dorgu. Old Trafford fans erupt, but nonetheless, that might be United's last chance of the game as Ederson slows it down. There's a great chance this game ends 0-0. So Ederson will hit it forward. As he's just done it now. There's just about 3 of the 4 original added minutes gone. Here's Kevin De Bruyne. De Bruyne scrapping against Lindelof. Now Bernardo Silva. Guarded by 3 Manchester United players. Silva goes down. Good challenge there by Dorgu. But Silva's going to win it back. For only a moment, but it's out of play, throwing Manchester United. From the looks of it, as the story will go today, does not look like there will be a goal in the inaugural game of the week on RBTV. And we thank everyone so much for being here. If you're at any part of the stream or watching it afterwards, thank you. Really appreciated what all of the viewers do to this channel. It's a brand that just came back and we'll be building on a lot ahead of the summers. Here comes Dallo. He gets the pass taken away initially, but United win it back with Mason Mount. Is this the chance for United? Xerxes, aerial ball, headed away by Diaz, but Xerxes wins it back. United have to go forward. This is the finish. Wide to Garnacho. The Dallo still in the wide channels. Low cross looking for Xerxes. No. Here's Mason Mount. Mount still with it back to goal. Fernandes has to take it away. But now it's going to be on the left side, but the referee has blown this game dead. That will do it. United thought for a moment they had a chance. But unfortunately for either the viewer, your commentator, and many people watching this game alike, this game will end 0-0. It will end the way we started. Two teams that went out at each other from start to finish. Has this game end at 0-0. Manchester City will be frustrated. Manchester United, on the other hand, will be elated with how this game ended. It was not the prettiest game, not by any means, but it ends the way that one side was hoping for and the other side will be frustrated with in the end. City, if you look at the Premier League standings, will stay in 5th. United don't move anywhere in the lower half of the Premier League standings. It is all over at Old Trafford in the Manchester Derby here on RBTV. It ends at the Theatre of Dreams. Manchester United 0, Manchester City 0. I'm Robbie Basil saying so long. Thank you guys so much for watching the Premier League on RBTV. Once again, the final score at Old Trafford,